Imagine waking up one day and finding exactly $1 million in your account. For most people, this is the I made it moment. It's seen as the magic number where all struggles end and freedom begins. But let me tell you a truth. This figure might actually be a heavily glossed over lie. Most people spend their entire lives chasing this dream. Yet when they reach it, they struggle to understand why they still wake up with the same stress. Because the real issue isn't the size of the number, it's the psychological architecture behind that number. Today, we're going to talk about that great illusion the financial world never warns you about and the true financial breaking point. Why do we all view $1 million as a form of salvation? Why has this number become etched into our collective consciousness as the golden ticket? The answer is actually simple. $1 million represents a tangible sense of security. However, in the modern world, especially in the heart of a consumer economy like America, this figure no longer holds its old power. Inflation, rising standards of living, and the never-ending desire for more have quickly eroded this magic number. The problem is that we are still trying to survive in the world of 2026 using financial goals from the 1990s. Here's the point most people miss. Financial freedom is not a destination. It's an operating system. How much you have in your account is less important than how your mind relates to money. Have you ever heard of the term lifestyle creep? It's the situation where your needs grow at the same pace as your income. Someone earning $50,000 a year dreams of $100,000. But once they hit $100,000, they suddenly realize they need a better car, a bigger house, and more expensive coffee. The result? Even if income increases, net worth stands still. The $1 million lie starts here. If your spending habits are out of control, that million will only serve to get you into more expensive debt. There is also a dark psychological dimension to this. What we call hedonic adaptation is the human tendency to quickly get used to new circumstances. That massive rush of excitement you feel when you buy your dream sports car only lasts a few weeks. Then, that car just becomes your car. The excitement fades, replaced by a new desire. If you tie your happiness to a number or an object, you fall into a void the moment you reach that goal. $1 million promises you peace, but if you lack internal discipline, it only brings more anxiety. The fear of what if I lose this is far more destructive than the passion of how do I get this. Let's talk numbers for a moment. Let's do some basic math. Consider the annual expenses of an average American family and factor in inflation. Suppose you have $1 million and you put it into a safe investment vehicle, say, a fund providing a 4% annual return. This gives you roughly $40,000 gross per year. When you consider taxes and how inflation eats away at purchasing power, does this amount let you live in luxury? No. It barely keeps you afloat. The title of millionaire in today's world essentially means you are just slightly above the middle class, sitting in a relatively safe harbor. That is the big lie. Being a millionaire no longer means retiring to sip cocktails on a yacht. So, where is the real breaking point? This is the most critical part. In the financial journey, there is a threshold point where money starts working for you, and you start running faster than the money. But this threshold usually starts with a much smaller number than you think, the first $100,000. Why? Because saving the first $100,000 is much harder than earning the remaining millions. This is a mathematical reality. You sweat for that first 100 cows, you scrape for every dollar. But once you cross that threshold, the massive power of compound interest kicks in. Money is no longer just a savings balance. It starts fighting for you like an army. Behavioral transformation begins exactly at this point. Most people lose their chance to become truly wealthy while trying to look wealthy. Most of those glittering lives you see on the streets of New York or in your Instagram feed are actually sandcastles built on debt. Truly wealthy people care less about what money can buy and more about what money represents: time. Time is the most expensive and rarest commodity you can buy with money. If you have $1 million but have to work 80 hours a week at a job you hate, you aren't wealthy. You are just a high-paid slave. Consider a scenario. Two friends, Mark and John. Mark moves into a better house with every promotion, buys the latest phone first, and proves his social status through his spending. John lives modestly and consistently invests 30% of his income into low-cost index funds. From the outside, Mark looks like he's made it. But in a moment of crisis, when things go wrong, Mark's entire world collapses like a house of cards. While John sleeps soundly thanks to that portfolio he quietly grew, John's goal isn't $1 million. John's goal is to completely eliminate the control money has over his life. The most critical mistake people make is viewing money as an end goal. Money is a tool, not a destination. Think of it like a hammer. You can build a palace with it, or you can crush your own fingers. If you don't know who you will be when you reach $1 million, you will either lose that money very quickly or that money will consume you. The real strategic shift in perspective is this: moving from being a consumer to becoming a producer and an investor. This isn't just a financial move, it's an identity shift. It's the ability to say, no, I am buying my future freedom with this money, while every ad and every notification is trying to sell you something. This awareness is the key to true financial independence. Now, let's look a bit deeper into the strategic perspective. Living in America, you've likely noticed that most people around you are trapped in a cycle of debt. Credit scores, cars bought on installments, 30-year mortgage agreements. The system functions like a massive machine, constantly driving you to spend. What most people overlook is this: exiting this system requires more than just earning more money. You must learn how to manage the system and turn the rules to your advantage. What we call financial literacy is essentially like learning a language for freedom. If you don't speak this language, no matter how much you earn, you will somehow be forced to play by someone else's rules. Stop and think for a moment. If you lost your job today and your income suddenly stopped, how long could you survive without changing your current lifestyle? 1 month? 6 months? Longer? Real wealth is measured not by how much money you have, but by how much time that money buys you. The doubling million goal focuses people only on a big number, but the real objective is to reach a point where your passive income covers your basic needs, capturing financial independence. Once you reach that point, working is no longer a necessity. It becomes entirely your choice. And believe me, the comfort of waking up on a Monday morning without setting an alarm is worth more than any luxury car seat or flashy lifestyle. So, why do most people fail to cross this critical threshold? Because we are impatient. Compound interest grows over time. But the "I want it right now" mindset is the biggest obstacle standing in its way. For the first 5 to 10 years, it might look like your investment is having no impact at all. This is normal. This situation is similar to the growth of a bamboo tree. You look at the ground and see nothing, yet it is watered for years. Finally, at the end of the 5th year, it shoots up to 25 meters in just a few weeks. Your financial journey works the same way. The bulk of reaching that $1 million happens during those patient, boring years that no one applauds. Another major mistake is the all-or-nothing mentality. People often think, I earn so little, what difference does it make if I invest? This is a trap created by the mind. Financial freedom isn't built with a single lottery win, but through continuous, small, and conscious decisions. Saving even $10 a day won't make you rich overnight, but it builds discipline. That discipline is what ensures you use money correctly when large opportunities come your way later on. Those who cannot manage small amounts of money cannot control large sums either. In the wrong hands, $1 million can be a disaster, not a blessing. Let's be realistic, this path is not easy. In America, rents are rising, healthcare is expensive, and competition is fiercer than ever. But these are not excuses. They are factors you must consider to develop the right strategy. Don't just listen to motivational quotes saying you can do it if you want it. Brussels, wanting it is not enough on its own. You must have a cold-blooded, emotionless, and long-term plan. You must develop a mindset that doesn't panic when the market drops and doesn't become arrogant when it rises. Financial success is more about emotional intelligence than IQ. Now, a question for you. What will you actually do when you have $1 million? If your answer is simply to consume, that big number will continue to imprison you. But if your answer is to create, to learn, to travel the world, or to spend time with my loved ones, then you are on the right track. Money is like a magnifying glass that enlarges your character. If you are stingy, you become stingier. If you are generous, you become more generous. That's why before reaching that $1 million, you must become the person who deserves that money. As we approach the end of the road, let's clarify one thing. $1 million can certainly be a goal, but it shouldn't be the vision of your life. Your vision should be to build a life where money is never the issue. This doesn't mean drowning in luxury. It means being able to say no to anything you want, whenever you want. Being able to attend your child's school play without hesitation, and not being dependent on anyone as you grow older. That is the true luxury. Finally, make a promise to yourself today. Stop just chasing big numbers. Try to understand the psychology behind those numbers, the ways to change your habits, and the true value of your time. $1 million might end up in your hands one day, or it might not. But if you possess financial consciousness, you already have something more than the wealth most people can't even dream of. Because at the end of the day, your greatest investment isn't the stock market, real estate, or cryptocurrencies. It's yourself. The return on the investment you make in yourself lasts a lifetime. Now is the time to set those lies aside and build your true freedom. Because the world doesn't look at how much money you have, but at who you become with that money. The choice is yours. Will you remain tied to the numbers, or will you be the architect of your own life? That's it for our video. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, please subscribe and like the video. Thank you.